Welcome back, YouTube, to UK channel update. Not a Tales from the Blast Furnace. It's fucking pissing it down. Absolutely tipping it down. Balmy 25. There we go. Unfortunately, it's not a Friday.
Mufasa, you know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday again, it's Saturday, Sunday. Hey, let's go, what, no you didn't.
Just from a few people like that clip. It's not, I don't own it, it's Mustafa. But yeah, I must, you know, when you hear that, just get you in the mood and for the weekend. The weekend's nearly over, it's Sunday, but you can watch this next Friday, I'm sure. I was actually going to do a video Friday just gone. I just didn't get around to doing it. Sunday now. What's been going on then? Fucking hell, all sorts kicking off. Old Sega and the Game Gear Mini. Not for me at all. They look a little bit shit. They look a little bit shit. Talking of minis, they've got a mini. It's finally arrived. Turned up, hasn't it? A bit of a fucking story about mine, I'll tell you that much. Probably do that at the end or at some point, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing with this video. Not planned anything. In the back, we've got the mighty Jaguar running. I don't know if you're even interested or you care. I did a couple of unboxing vids actually. It's been the first time on cam for a while. It's still too loud, that is. I'm shouting. And yeah, did an unboxing vid of the Jaguar game drive, which is basically a flash card for the Jaguar, and it is absolutely slick as hell. Really responsive. But I managed to get a 128 gig SD card, £5 off eBay. Fucking loaded up the ROMs. For them that are interested, I don't know if you are, £140. It will be having CD support. It's. I did remember reading somewhere that it was still kind of like a bit flaky. But obviously the guy who's done it at Retro HQ Saint, he's just not put that into the current firmware. Probably to stop people moaning saying this game crashes or whatever. But it is technically capable of playing CD games. It just needs some refinement. And yeah, 128 gig should be more than enough to hold all the cartridge based and the CD stuff. So when it comes along, I'll do another video. No fuck will watch it anyway. So it's a fantastic bit of kit. What have we got running on here? Power Drive. Is it Power Drive? Power Drive Rally or something like that. Steve, Retro Lynch Steve, said this is a good one to put on. It's the first time I've done anything with any of this stuff. Even since getting the memory card, all I did was just load it up. Because literally, the ball ache of fucking getting all this room done, it's fucking just does my nut in. Part of the reason why I want a proper room, so I don't have to go through this whole rigmarole of fucking setting stuff up, moving stuff out, shifting this, shifting that. Just fucking glaring light that you can't see fucking anything on, even though it's pissing it down with rain outside. Anyway, that's not for me moaning. Got a few little additions, got nothing amazing, and nothing you probably wouldn't have seen on somebody else's channel at some point anyway. But what I suppose I didn't mention it because it wasn't really part of that video, to be honest. I'll tell you what I forgot something. Right, back. I knew I forgot something. I was racking my brains, just sort of thinking, what have I fucking... I must have forgot something. What I'm going to do, But I don't think I should really re-record this bit, and I can't be bothered. I'm going to chop to a video that I did, was it last week before? I can't remember. It was meant to be bigger than it was, and then something happened, so I'll just show you the bit that pertains to the item that would have shown you, if that makes sense. You'll see. Welcome back, YouTube, to UK. This is either going to be one of my best videos ever, or the worst idea bar none. It's Bank Holiday Monday, the 25th. We've just come out from the garden. We're in the blast furnace. Just shut the door, get all the shit. I've not plugged anything in. Too fucking hot. Right, near enough 36 degrees as it is. We'll see if that climbs. So just shut the door now. I've got a beer or two. I've had a couple. I've got a new sun lounger. So those that I don't have a sunbed. I'd love to have the space to have a sunbed. I don't have a sunbed. It's only out in the garden. So yeah, trying to lap it up, but I've promised a certain person I'm going to do this video, and I need to get it done because there's other stuff coming next week which I want to sort of focus on as well. And I don't want to make a big video and dilute that down, if that makes sense. I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying the long bank holiday. I know that the actual weekend part of it was shit. The wind in the UK was fucking horrendous. Like, you know, even for like spring near enough summer, it was horrendous, the wind. But it's calmed down now. It's looking good for the future, the next couple of days. Yeah, so I thought come in here, fucking lose all breath out my lungs, because fucking hell, Jesus Christ, it's fucking hot. I've got the wife beater on. There's no way I'm wearing anything. Literally, that's all I've got on. Well, you don't need to know that. Like, I'm like a fucking newsreader. You don't need to see below. No one wants to see below. I've got two things to show. That's it. And I've got well, what the fuck there? And a couple of things to talk about. Not many things. Some shout-outs that will come, but just to reference, I think on the last vid I mentioned I got a local pickup, like some PlayStation 2 stuff. I think I did anyway. But this is like all the shit. Like, you know, it's just fodder. There's nothing. Well, I thought there wasn't anything spectacular in there. Again, I can't remember from. Did I allude to the fact that I'd sent some stuff to CEX for the first time? As in, like, posted it to sort of sell or trade? Well, I have. I don't know. So we'll see the results of that, if and when it comes to fruition. Something I've never done. Obviously, given the circumstances, I thought, you know what, fuck it. It's free post. I can print the label off. I've got a collection point, top of the yard, so let's give it a whirl. Anyway, within said sort of bundle, it was all PS2 stuff mainly. A couple of DS's, and a couple of DS games. So I sent all the PlayStation 2 systems off, just to recoup the outlay, and then some. It's a lot for cash, if you like, PayPal cash. And that's been, God, it would have been nearly a week soon, I think. Look at my, look, all the wife's cut the hair again, so all those people taking the piss. That side there is always longer than that side because she's caggy-handed. Do you know what? I don't know. I was watching James Collects. I put a link to James Collects. He doesn't need it. It's not a shout. It's not a formal shout out. But watch his video with his miss. He gets his missus to cut his hair. Oh my God, she would scare the living shit out of me. The way she was doing it. My missus, like, I watched a few videos, and you know, she's all right. It's not perfect. She's not a hairdresser. I had this conversation before, but the second time she's done it. But James's missus was like, she was. I don't know what she was. I think she was really ultra nervous. Let's watch the video. James, if you're watching this, mate, absolutely fucking love that video, mate. Really, it epitomises what all us blokes are going for. Probably the women as well. But like, oh God. Anyway, that's the Corona cut. A couple of games out that lot, the PlayStation 2 stuff. I was just like say, whack them to CEX. And I've said this to you guys before. Especially if I'm looking to buy a game and stuff like that. If there's only like one in stock or none in stock, it kind of, even though the price is cheap, it kind of intimates that it's somewhat after collectible. Case in point with these ones, I just thought these were, I didn't even look at them twice. First one is Tiger Woods '09. Now my guess is this is the last Tiger Woods that was released on the PlayStation 2. Needs a case swap, but the actual inside and stuff, the discs are alright as well. A lot of these discs are, I think, the woman I bought off, I think she had a couple of lads. You'll see why in a minute. They're not perfect. But let's just go for about tenner. 10 on eBay. 10, 12 quid on eBay. I was like, and the next two, again, pretty similar prices. I've got 2 copies of Rugby 08. So I'm guessing these are the last 08s on there. The discs ain't great on this. I might just put them together and just basically sell them to a reseller to re-skim to then sell on, if that makes sense. Because if I sell them to CX, I'll get 10p each. If I put them there for like £10 a pair, then someone who's a reseller can then sell them for £10 each. So everyone's a winner chicken dinner. No, I'm not greedy that way. I'm not greedy. I am greedy, but not greedy that way. I'm greedy with other stuff. Beer, man. So I just want to mention that. I say, to me, it was all about the actual consoles, less the games. I think that whole lot, they were giving like 25 quid credit. It might buy me a PlayStation 1 game. You know, and if I get the money for the consoles, then I've gained a bit of cash, not much extra, and I've got a PS1 game for very little overhead and work. And that's kind of the way you have to do it a little bit, you know. You have to work the angles, man. I've been saying that for years. Work the angles, work the angles. Anyway, off of Galaxy Sega, this was. Galaxy Sega. What's the guy's name? Dave Newton. He put this up, and I must have like literally commented it within about fucking like a minute, 2 minutes. I said, yes, I'll have that, mate. So this is one of the, it's not, I suppose it is a little bit of a holy grail. If it was boxed, it definitely would be a fucking holy grail. Or collector's piece, should I say. Holy grail for some people. This for the Master System, the Master. For the Master System, for the Master System. God, I'm sweating. It's fucking pissing off of me. And yeah, so it's for the Master System. I tried to order this about 3 times off CX when they started doing Master System stuff, and it always come through as like the wrong thing. It's not a game. Obviously, it's not a game because I don't. Well, it could be a game because there are some still need to upgrade, but it's not. It's a peripheral. And it is one of the more rare ones. I've done fuck all with it. I've done unbox it and see it's there, so I haven't even unwrapped it. Here we go. For them that know, you know. Cost me, do you know what? He did me a great deal. He basically said it's untested. Now I don't know if that just means it's fucking broke. Let's be honest. I'm not likely to test it, am I? You know, let's sell it to fucking Tootie. He won't fucking test it for about 10 years, and you know, if at all. But I've not even opened it. Them that are on Galaxy Sega may or may not know. They might have seen the post. I don't know. I don't really care. But what we got here is failure to communicate. Points for the song and the movie that the song's quoted from. I'm not a music person. I do like quotes though. And sayings. I love shit like that. I use them quite a lot. Who was I talking to? Who was I watching? You know what? I'm going to leave that. I'll do that as a shout out actually. I'm going to rethink. Right, so what we've got here. You know what, it's in really nice condition. I literally just opened it. You've seen me unwrap all that shit. It is. When it came through in the box, I thought it sent me a load of fucking books or wood. A load of wood. It is actually a lot smaller than I thought. Here's a clean, but I can do that. So this, what really piqued my interest with this was going back, and it's been mentioned a few times. God forbid I have to say his fucking name yet again. Old Danester on his streams. But this chap's has mentioned numerous times. He's an old YouTuber, like ancient, like Yoda. No, he's not Yoda. He's probably younger than me, actually. Stu Ninja Bear Hug no longer does YouTube in from a retro perspective. He fixes old tools up and stuff, hardware. I can't remember what it's called now. I'll put the link down below. Some fixes and some. They're great. Honestly, there's loads of them though. I thought he was doing something really clever. I mean, you know, his views are like fucking massive. I thought, fucking hell, Stu's onto something here. And obviously, once you watch one video, you see all the recommended ones, and there's like people that have been doing it. That's where he's got it from. But they're really, it's almost like what they call the restoration piece. Basically, he's restoring old hardware like drills, presses, shit like that. But they're quite relaxing to watch. And you see things come back to life again. So anyway, so I'd seen this on Stu's Ninja Bear Hug's channel. I remember seeing it in the catalogue. No one ever had one of these. I think it only works with a handful of games, and some games it works better with some than others. And it works better paired with a needs clean there. Some pedals, and I'm sure to God I bought the pedals when Stu did the video, but I couldn't fucking find this thing for love nor money. I say, hence why when CX started doing it, I'd ordered it multiple times trying to get one, and it always comes through the wrong thing. It is the handle controller. It is not a fucking BMX bike. It just looked like this. A lot smaller than it appears, but then again, when Stu's not a big guy. He's quite a small guy, so to me, this looks fucking tiny. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It needs a bit of I can clean all that stuff up with a bit of IPA. Yeah, so there you go. Handle controller. I think Space Harrier is quite good for basically anything that requires you to push forward to go forward. So the put that is, if you can see it, it moves forward a little bit, and that pushes you forward. So any of the driving games that need you to push forward and then try and turn as you're pushing forward are quite difficult to control. And obviously the pedals then do you accelerate and brake. But I think even for Space Harrier it's quite good. Obviously I think the Outrun games and stuff like that, I can't remember. You'd have to fucking have a Google, lads. You're all clever enough. But yeah, so many thanks to Dave Newton of Galaxy Sega, and I'll tell you what I paid, because you can all go and see it. I paid £45 posted. That is not a bad fucking price for that. It says sun tested, you know, so that might mean it's fucking it's broke. I don't think there's much to it. Got the little adapter lead. I did mention about that. So that goes into the front there. Bullshit, and then you've got your old Atari connection into the Master System. I'd love to get a box for that. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. So that was recorded, okay, like a week or two back. I can't remember now. I didn't upload it because following on from that, there was something else that I was going to do an unboxing of. And it just turned out the thing that I was unboxing wasn't even in there. It was the wrong game. So it become all null and void, essentially. So hopefully, like I say, you'll see the handle controller, Sega Master System handle controller. I had a bit of a fucking waffle about that anyway. I'm not going to go over that old ground there. But yeah, nice little addition to the collection. So something I've been after for God, yonks, absolutely yonk years. But the bit that you didn't see was I'd asked for some games of Alan, Scottish Japanese Alan, and he'd sent them through and stuff. And when I was unboxing it, it's not until I sort of seen the reflection back at the camera, I thought it's the wrong fucking game. It's one of the wrong game. I looked at it wrong, probably because I was pissed up, and he'd looked at it wrong and sent me the wrong game. He didn't even have the game I asked for. yeah, so it was a bit of a cock up on both sides, to be honest. But sent it back to Alan. He's sent me my money back. You know, everything's cool. But the one game that I did get off of him is Bomberman 94 PC Engine, regarded as the best version of it. So he was having like on this Facebook page. He does all his newest stuff, but then sometimes he'll have like a collective listing of like these are all the current crop of Mega Drive games in stock, or in this case PC Engine stuff. And he had two copies of this. One was 25 quid and one was 20 quid. So some guy bought the 25 pound one because he commented on that one. I went, well, I'll have the 20 pound one. And then this other game, which wasn't the game we thought it was. But yeah, Hue card, and I'll say one of the latter ones, because it does have actually pictures on the back rather than the just a blanking plate. But yeah, all there. The proper little holder as well, so really happy to get that. Does it make this redundant, perhaps? Well, we'll see. But I'm not going to stop collecting for these. I'll tell you that much now. Absolutely beautiful. So many thanks to Al. I'll put his Facebook page in the links below if you're interested. I think he does have an eBay store, but I think he does applies most of his trade on Facebook. And yeah, he'll look after you. If you buy a few bits off him, he'll look after you. You know, that kind of guy. Come on, what else I was going to say now? Doesn't matter. Okay. Shit, I have jumped over the place. I was talking about some outsourcing stuff. Okay. So going back to the Jag. Jag.
The ones who are in there for a bit of tax dodging.
Yeah.
I bet 80% have got Jags. You know what I mean? Don't you? He goes away with a sort of girl for the weekend and then goes, awfully sorry.
Bit of an issue with
Would
the
you
watch.
mind awfully settling this while I go and warm up the Jag?
Going back to the Jag. I said I've had the game drive on order for fucking hell, man. As soon as I think I just missed out on the first batch. That's not a batch that you eat. That's a batch as a group of stuff. We're not getting into bread wars. But anyway, I missed out on the first release, the first issue of these cartridges. And I was on the waiting list for the next one, which when I'd ordered it, I sort of said to him, well, when are these due? And he sort of, at that point, he sort of said, oh, we ended the next month. So I was like, fine, great. I said, this is literally going back to like probably this time last year. So with that in mind, I thought, right, okay, I know I've got a box Jag.
Yeah.
In the fucking, I don't know, the fucking storage, fucking garage under the, I don't know where it was. So I'm not digging that out. A, because I don't want to open the box anyway, and B, I'm not going to go for all that shit. And even if I did find it, I'd feel really bad about taking it out of the box again. So I know what, I'm going to go and buy it. I'll buy a loose one. Loose one will do me as a play. Yeah, a play system. And I know you're all fucking saying that. What do you mean, Stu? Play? Don't play anything. Well, you're fucking right there. But that was the idea. So, again, it's been fucking ages since I've done anything, looked to buy anything for the Jag. Jag!
Yeah.
That's me thinking, I don't know, 50 quid, 60 quid for a loose Jag? Nah, no chance. So my go-to play, CEX, looked on there, what the fuck? I think it's like 140, 120, 140, I can't remember, and I think it's gone up since. It might have been 120, it might be 140 now, I can't remember. So, oh, I'm not paying that. I'll have a look on eBay. So I started watching ones that went, you know, like the bids. And they all went above 100, I'm sure they all went above 140, because I probably had like extra couple of games and stuff, and I was like, oh, fucking hell, man. So, I do what I normally do. I just started collating credit from fodder, from the charity shops, built up enough to purchase a Jag, which is what's playing on this basically, is how this is playing. I didn't explain it in the video because it wasn't really part of that, but this is a pickup that I've had sat for about a fucking year in a box. Come really nice, low, shipped to the bubble wrap, really nicely packaged. I did have though the SCART RGB cable already. because for them that might remember, I don't know if I even did I talk about it? I can't think. But I bought a Jag CD off of eBay ages ago, because I was going to go for a Jag collection.
Yeah.
Because I'd managed to acquire Primal Rage boxed and 13 something. They're quite... Primal Rage is fucking really rare. And I got it off CX for like 90 quid. 13 and Brain Dead. But the CD drive didn't work, and I did do a few tinkerings to try and get it back to life, and it's just like, you know what, this is not worth it. It's not worth the effort. Even the stuff I read on it afterwards were like, they're so unreliable, and I just thought, you know, like, let's just call it quits. I sold it on and stuff, you know. I think I made a little bit on top of it, sold it as not working. I'm pretty sure whoever's bought it's probably got it fixed and up and running now, but it just seemed so much of a ball ache, like really badly, and they ain't, well, clearly there's not that many games for it anyway. But as part of that, what I did do, I thought, you know what, let's get a decent cable, because the thing with the Jag is you can't use, it's not like some of the systems where you can sort of cross-change some of the interconnects. It's all proprietary stuff. And so I had the RGB anyway, which is, you know, fortuitous enough. So it does look really fucking nice, I must admit. I mentioned it in the video about Rayman. It looks absolutely superb. But yeah, the fucking old Jags, they ain't cheap, man. And I tell you what, there ain't many of them knocking about. So kudos to CEX, you know, all working, come like lovely packaged over a year ago now. So if it didn't work, I probably would be fucked. But it does. So, say, what would it cost me? If it was 140 quid credit, usually a third, why do we care? You know, no one's interested, no one's fucking watching anyway. It needs a clean. I'm looking at it now, it does need a clean. I didn't do anything with it. Literally, it's been in that fucking box. The only time it got bought out was when the game drive turned up. And then it dawned on me, I thought, fuck, I haven't even tested this yet. But it has got a Telegames charger, which is quite interesting as well, to be honest. Just one controller, standard things, you know, so that's what CX is there for, man. You know, play the games. But the game drive's superb. I think that's like enough fucking tangent-y waffle going on for that. What else have I been doing? What else have I been doing? Working. Fucking, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about the old lockdown and COVID-19 because it's just getting a bit of a fucking joke, isn't it? Let's be honest now. And I don't mean it actually being, you know, a pandemic. It's just everything else that's gone on, especially this last week. Across the world, to be honest, it's just like certain sections of society that were more susceptible to COVID-19 seemingly don't really give a shit that they're going to catch it and they can take it. I don't know. It just seems daft, but you can't fix stupid. Anyway, other than getting annoyed at like stuff that I have no control over, which I'm getting better at not getting annoyed by. I did mention, that's it, I should sort of bookend this actually with a bit of an update with CX, because talked about CX, just segue that in a bit better there. Last video I mentioned, I sent some load of stuff in. Okay, I don't know if I showed these on the video. I might have showed them in that other video where I showed the handle controller. If I did, I'll put it in. It'll be in now. I'll put it in. I've had another fucking COVID cut from the missus. It's a little bit better. She's getting there. She's getting there. Might save me like 15 quid a month now if I can get her to cut hair properly. She's not a hairdresser. Okay. I think she's a little bit too qualified to be a hairdresser. Anyway, CX. Sent some stuff into CX. Sent some stuff into Sal. 2 lots of stuff to Sal. And 1 stuff for trade. The trade stuff has gone through. Gone through fine. I've got my voucher. So, can't fucking knock it. You know, instead of standing in the queue. Up to shop. I mean, unless you want the voucher straight away. I don't know. I'm kind of like leaning towards just sending everything by post because the post is free. So it costs you a box and a bit of packaging. So I'm kind of erring on that side in future. I suppose it depends where you live, you know. I mean, I've got like a collect plus depot point, whatever, like 10-15 minutes away at the top of the shop, top of the road in the shop. So I think I'll probably be going that way, because you all know it's like you stood in the queue with a bag of stuff and it takes you fucking hours. Just put it in a box, send it off. Unless you need to credit all the money straight away, then I don't know. But the stuff to sell, which was more hardware, it's still nothing yet, and I'm guessing it's just the testing phase, yada yada yada. So still waiting to hear back from that, and I'll update you on that one. But in terms of like the trade stuff, which is all PS2, some couple of Wii titles, couple of DS ones, all went through fine. Got my money, got my voucher rather. So that's sat there, not doing a great deal. But off the back of that, segueing into this one nicely. Off of eBay, I purchased this game, which was complete, and all I wanted was a manual. I think it's about 55. I watched it, and the guy sent me an offer. They said 50 quid. I was like, yeah, boom. Because this game, CX will give you £43, I think, cash. So the manuals sort of technically cost me £7, give or take. And that's Norma's Beach Baby-Rama. So this is basically my copy, which was at that point manualist copy. And we now have, take it out, the manual. The manual's not perfect. It's got a few creases in it. You're not going to see it with a creepy bag. But fucking hard to find this is, man. And say, if everything works out, it will end up costing me £7. The worst of it is that crease there, and obviously there's been a bit of a label there. I've tried to clean it up as best I can, but it was like a holographic label. I'll explain it in a minute. But yeah, it looks honestly, you just don't see a manual for this game at all, ever. So if it all works out, it's cost me £7. Take that all day. So the game that the original one, his next rental. I've seen a lot of these, and this Normies has been a lot of Blockbuster or Choices rental. So it had all them like silver rental stickers all over it, like Blockbuster and stuff. Obviously this is mine, so it's pretty nice. Actually, probably the best condition one I've ever seen. And that's what they'd stuck on the manual as well. They stuck one of them sort of like silver holographic type sticker things on there. And without damaging it further, I thought, you know what, that'll do. That'll do, pig, that'll do. So we'll stick that in the fucking shelf. Never, ever to be fucking played again. Or at all, even. So we've done that. Wouldn't be a video of mine lately about one of these turning up. I've got some more on order. I missed out on one. These went for more than I thought. I think I caught someone on the hop for this one, because this one finished first. This is the last one in the set, and I think I caught someone on the hop because I think they thought that they were going to like bag them for like very little money, because then subsequently each one after it, which they went down chronologically or numerically, sort of the price went up more, if that makes sense. It'll make sense when I'll show you what it is. I think this is probably the rarer one to get. Rarer, the harder one. It's a magazine. I never had this one, and I never had the third one. The first two I did, and I've been watching the guy selling these for fucking ages, hoping that he'd send me an offer, and he never did. But then a chap was listing all 4 on a bid, and I fucking hate the bids, right? So I was like, okay, fine, I have to play the fucking game here. And they all finished within about 3 minutes of each other. But weirdly, he put them in reverse order, so there's only 4. There's only 4 these will ever produced. Then it's split. I thought, might have a chance here. And I'm guessing there must have only been 2 of us buying them. I don't know who it was. It'd be nice if they're on YouTube. And so the last one was the first one to end. And I thought, yeah, I'll put this in, and that might snag it. And I did look when I was watching the first guy's listing that I mentioned, and I looked at like previously sold, and they didn't sell for a great deal. I think these have just basically flew under the radar a little bit, and probably my own fault. I don't know. I'm not fucking being that big-headed, but it just seemed like the magazine side of things is really picking up, and a lot of people are sort of thinking, you know what, I'm going to get a few of them. Anyway, the magazine in question is called Console XS. So these are basically just hints, tips, and cheat magazines. That's all they are. There's no real reviews or anything like that. It's just how-tos. Look, you can see it. Look, Sega Nintendo Player's Guide. Right. So the history for me, with it, not this 4th one, the first 2, which I have bought, and I'll explain that one in a minute. I'll just put this back in here. I'll leave that there for a minute. So the first 2 I definitely owned, and I'm not going to give too much away, but there was a couple of games that were featured in them. And if like I don't know if I've told this story before, I'm going to tell it again anyway. When I was a kid, Saturdays would go all about going uptown, and I didn't have a great deal of money. You had a paper and stuff, but it was daft because I should have saved the paper and money up to buy games, but instead of that, I got my gaming fix from magazines. And again, I've mentioned this before, I bought shitloads of magazines, and I had obviously some games for some things. And I can't remember who was talking about it. It might have been Scott Brown Sega Zombie. I can't remember. Someone mentioned that whenever they saw a magazine, wherever it was, and it had a particular article, or was it Eddie? Well, it might have been Eddie Rollercore. I think on about Mortal Kombat, and they'd buy the magazine because they wanted to like try and absorb everything out. So for me, the couple of games that I had, especially from the Super Nintendo games, one of the games featured in one of these was Super Mario World, and it was like, you know, find all the 96 levels and look all 96 levels, blah blah blah, the stars and stuff. And, oh yeah, that'd be really, be useful, because there's no internet. There's no fucking internet. You can't Google anything. It didn't exist. So these are the route in. I definitely bought the first 2. I know, because I remember seeing the fucking covers, and some of the games in them I never would have known of, and I was like, oh my god. So when you're looking at some of the games, A, that you've got, and B, that you haven't got, again, it just fuels that whole fucking, oh my god, I wonder what this game was like. Thing. But subsequently, off the back of this, Dainster, fucking mentioned Dainster every fucking video. Go and watch his lockdown video with Dave Perry, because this is what really surprised me. Dave Perry talked about Console XS. I don't think I'd look for issue 4, which I've got here. He's not listed, but it is Paragon. It is Paragon Printing or Paragon Publishing. He's not listed in this one. I'll show you. He's not listed as part of any of the staff. But what I think, I'll tell you the story of this. So, Sega Nintendo, and what you've got in this one, this is really weird. So it starts off talking about Zelda Link to the Past, Part 1. Console XS only ran for 4 issues. After that, it split. It split to probably Nintendo XS and think Sega XS. And obviously the subsequent parts would have been off the back of that. And I think, my guess is that Dave was part of the Sega XS one, not the original first 4 of these ones. But when he talked about it, I thought, I'm fucking watching the magazines. Hope people don't cotton on and start going hunting for them. But I don't know if that was the case. I don't know. So yeah, this is the last issue of those. And there's a Zelda's Lot Part 1, and there's a Sega game as well. It's only Part 1. I can't remember which one it was. It did make me laugh because I thought, imagine if you were like committed to this magazine and then you've got to go and fucking buy something out. They do have a bit. Actually, I'll have a flick through in a minute, very briefly. I'm just trying to find out what game it was where it was like Part 1 of it. Just bear with me a sec. That's the A to Z. I can't think. That's Green Dog. Dragon's Lair. I can't think what it was. No, that's Predator 2. Was that? I can't think. There was a Sega game, and it's Part 1 of it. This just made me laugh. Anyway, there might be an Alien. I can't remember. But it's definitely Zelda's Part 1, and there's the second one would have then been on Nintendo XS. So if you were like a little bit of a bit like me, I like to absorb. I liked, the multi-format stuff was great. I didn't really want to be committed to like one thing other than Super Play. That's why I like to see computer video games, because you got to experience, albeit in paper format, a lot of different systems, a lot of different games, bit of exposure. So I'm missing issue 3. After all that, if anyone's got Console XS issue 3, let me know. I've got issue 1 and 2 coming. So this finished first, and this wasn't cheap. I mean, it was like £3 back then in 1992. And then whoever was watching this as well must have got really pissed off because I fucking won it. And they were on the phone or wherever it might have been, and then issue 3 went for like, I was like, wow, I'm not paying that much. I had issue 1 and 2 on the back burner of this other listing, which I can't remember. Even when I look back, it was hard to find it. I don't know if it worded it weirdly enough. But what I paid for issue 1 and 2 was a lot less than this guy's auctions went to combined, if that makes sense. So I thought, well, fucking no-brainer. Just buy it now on issue 1 and 2. I think circa around £10 each a mag is a fair price. Issue 4 cost me a little bit more than that, but then again I thought, well, issue 4 is going to be probably a harder one to get, so I think I paid 15 for that. Issue 3 went for like, I don't know, upwards of 20 quid, because I was see whoever it was, I was up bidding it, and he must have just gone fuck it and whacked some ridiculous price in there. Because I had in my head about £10 a magazine, and I was willing to pay that. So now I'm stuck with missing issue 3. It'll turn up eventually. But 1 and 2 are on the way, so I said we'll go through them. But honestly, they were a great little, because these are pre fucking Google, pre-internet. Just see if I can show you a little bit. So there's like a games master, the consultation zone. How do I, and they had like little sections, just like little snippets of help. Accessories, like they talk about some of the weird and wonderful accessories. So there's a little bit of articles, but it really is like a hints and tips section. Like load of like codes. I think these are all Game Genie and just basically like what you call it, input cheats. So you got them all for all the different ones. These are like mass system ones here. Look, action fighter, all weapons. Enter the code Doki_pen. Wonderful. really nostalgic from that end. And again, it's all for NES and stuff like that. Just trying to find anything that's interesting. Guides for Predator 2. Predator 2 on the Mega Drive, look. It is Mega Drive. Okay. Great game that is. Mentioned that before. Definitely worth a look. There's an Alien 3 one in here, which I thought was quite useful. You know, for all the fucking hostages. Because that's a bastard game. Bizarrely, Hunt for Red October. On the Game Boy. A bit of Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2, Christmas 92. Does it say? I don't know what it's. It shows you some of the. That's really good. I mean, these are actually. This is in really nice condition. It would have been nice to have got all 4 from the guy, but I guess whoever was bidding against me probably thought the same. Prince of Persia, fucking tough as fucking nails. Master System version. There's your Zelda one. Look. It just takes you before you go to the Dark World. So part 2 would have been in Nintendo XS. Tom and Jerry. Alien 3. God, Alien 3 was quite... The maps on that took a fucking an age to put together. But like I say, it just arcs back. Sonic, that was the fucking one. They see here, look, Sonic. It's earlier on in the magazine. Sonic 2, look. Actually says Sonic 2 on the fucking front of the cover still, you daft twat. But yeah, so Sonic 2, look there. Sonic 2 and Zelda. So that would have been in Sega XS, that would have been Nintendo XS. Maybe that was always planned all along. I know they split a lot of the magazines, didn't they? Especially from a Amiga machines. I don't think Paragon, I don't know. I don't know the details of publishers and stuff. But I'm guessing as both those consoles fucking grew and grew, it was like, you know, we can double our money here. We can double up. So yeah, got a few more of them coming. None of you bastards bid on issue 3 or else I'll kill you. If anyone has got issue 3, let me know. And I'll happily purchase it off you, or we'll do a trade or whatever you fucking want. Sell you a kidney. And then last but not least, a bit disappointed, to be honest. You know what? With this, it's took the shine, I think, with the old Corona and the fact that Japan still had them, we're still shipping them, it's took the shine off of it a little bit, somewhat. I didn't do an unboxing. There was no big hurrah from me. Mine turned up yesterday, just about barely, and it is the older, the PC Engine Mini. Or you know, I've got the Core Graphics version. I didn't want the Turbo Graphics. The OG white one's nice, but this one I think looks the better of the 3, if I'm honest. Yeah, and look, there's been a million and one unboxings of this. Go and check Dana's out. Dana does an alright one, so, except where he starts fucking shoving his hand into the side here, like bending the car back. I was like, no! When there's actually a flap at that end. But yeah, it gives you a nice little run through. The thing is, other than the box, the packaging, the Peggy stuff, they're all pretty much for muchness. So this obviously it come from Amazon. There's no other place to order it. And a few of us lads were like sort of saying, because I had an email sort of basically saying mine will turn up today, Sunday. Then I had one saying it's out for delivery, which was yesterday. I was like, great. And then the other lad said, oh yeah, I've got one. Dana got his first, then Mark, then Rob, and then me. So mine turned up in a plastic bag, and I have seen on Facebook, I think on the Retro Tech, I think Chris Retro 48K, there's a few other ones. I'm not sure if Christian Van Tilburg, what a fucking name, Real Generic Demon. I'm not sure if his turned. I've definitely seen some people say that they're turned up in the bag. So I knew of this. I didn't tell the guys on the WhatsApp, and I was like, "Fucking, but please don't turn up in the fucking bag." It turned up in the bag. So this is my box. This is my box. Very similar to your box, but this is no. But what I'm happy. I don't know if you can see this. People are going to say there's nothing there, Stu, but there's a little bit there. Look, crushing there. It's the corners that the worst. There's like a corner there. Look. Everyone's going to be like, "Are you fucking mental?" A little bit on the edge there, and a little bit there. Look. I know it is really, really superficial, but put it in a fucking box. Why did mine not come? Why did some people's not come in a box? Because it wouldn't. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. So I was like, oh, there's another one there, like a little bit of a fold there. I mean, it is. For some people, like, who gives a fuck? But that cost me now. That's cost me 80 quid. Because I complained. I said, I'm not having it. I'm not. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And for those that are trying, if you have got one that came in a bag and the box is fucking dinked and knocked about, Amazon are hard to get hold of. I've never really done much with Amazon per se. I had to Google around trying to do different stuff, trying to find email addresses. But long and short of it is, I sent one to some, like, it was like complaints or something. I got a bounce back saying this is not being monitored. Fill these things out, blah blah, and it basically was bot chat. And I knew it was bot chat yesterday, and I thought, I'm not talking to a bot, because all they're going to do is say send it back, and that's not really what I wanted to do, because A, I've waited fucking that long to get the bastard thing, and B, what's to sort of say the next one that turns up won't be the same anyway, or worse, you know what I mean? So okay, that's not like perfect in terms of what probably could have happened to it. It's probably a lot better than, you know, what might happen to the next one. So I was like, I just want to speak to someone to sort of say, look, what's the fucking options here? So if you persist with the bot chat to a certain degree, you have to literally fucking jump through all the hoops, blah, 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 and you finally get to speak to what was technically a human. And she basically just went away and did this, blah, blah. She said, look, she said, are the contents damaged? I said, no, the contents are fine. She said, you know, it's just because I collect this kind of stuff. And my concern is, yes, I can send it back, but A, I've waited fucking ages. I don't know if you've got any in stock now, and B, the next one won't turn up in that condition. She sort of said, she then explained, she said some of them are they're Amazon fulfilled, so different areas package them how they see fit. So, AKA, yeah, you're probably right. It may turn up in a bag because we're trying to reduce packaging from an environmental fucking, I don't know what you call it, like the green carbon footprint or whatever you call it. So she sort of said, look, I can give you like basic 20 quid back. I was like, yeah, do it. I can live with that for 20 quid, for 80 quid. So my £80 PC Engine Mini, I'll have that. I put it on a little bit yesterday. I weren't feeling the best yesterday, I must admit, guys. Otherwise I would have made a video. I was feeling a bit ropey. Feeling a little bit better today. Hence the video, and hence, I only managed about fucking 15 cans yesterday. No, I'm joking, I didn't. I had about 5, and I was like, no, this is not happening. And so I just basically whacked it on, had a quick look, you know, got a bit familiar with it. The controller feels a bit spongy. I don't know if it's just me. I'm not sure. It might be my TV. I'm not sort of saying it's laggy. I did look at some of the stuff around it. A lot of people sort of saying the emulation that there is a bit of lag, but again, a lot of that could be down towards your TV, or shit, or old, or you just don't play games like I do. obviously in terms of hacking it, cracking it, smacking it. Oh, and the PC Engine Mini as well. I did have a look. Went to some of my usual haunts on Tinternet. Proof of concept. Technically, yes, it has been hacked. It's been cracked. In terms of a polished, seamless, safe method, not yet. I think it's Project Phobos. And there's another one. I think they're running concurrently. They may have merged now. So yeah, it's in its infancy. I don't suppose it will take too long like these. I think Project Phobos was the Mega Drive one, wasn't it? Still to get the Mega Drive Mini. But yeah, the selection of games aren't too bad. Bomberman 94. So this is what I was going back to when I sort of said about buying. I'll still be buying the games. Honestly, guys, I will still be buying the games, even when this gets cracked, even when it gets hacked. I'm buying the fucking games because I love the system that much. This is just a nice, convenient way to play them. Obviously, it gives you that CD element as well. You know, look at Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I tell you what, what's it called? What's Aladines? Oh, they're not in. Yeah, Aladines. That's not a bad little shooter, you know. I mean, you can Aladines and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Don Nakamura. And there was one. It was only 4, wasn't there, for the Super Graphics? I think there's only 4, but I think those 2 are the only ones that are worth getting. They're not bad games, you know. I know that a lot of people sort of didn't really think Aladines was much to do about it, but I quite enjoy playing that. I didn't put much time to any of these. I just literally had a quick brief blast just to see how they played. What else did I do? I didn't play that. I'm trying to think what else I put on. Oh, I put Ninja Gaiden on. Ninja Rikuden, which is basically like the Super NES version. It's alright. A bit of Fantasy Zone. I didn't put a Galaga. It is Galaga. I hate to say it is Galaga. It is Galaga 88. It's not Galaga. I can't remember where I found that out from. I know Tony, Electric Adventures, the Aussie guy, he was Galaga. He was like, it's not. It can't be Galaga. Because obviously they say Sega. And it is Galaga. Apparently it is Galaga. So yeah, I played a lot of Aladines, played a lot of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and obviously didn't get past level 1. It's fucking brutal. I did find it weird that they put R-Type on there. I don't know if R-Type is R-Type 1 and 2, as in is it the whole one? I wasn't sure. It is a turbo version. I think the turbo version might be 1 and 2. I can't remember now. But yeah, not a great deal of time into it. I say I weren't feeling the best yesterday. I feel a bit like I was a bit under the weather. Bit better today, so I might have another blast on it. We'll see. But that's it for now. So there's a few more bits. I say a couple of magazines coming. Hopefully in the week. A few other magazines coming in the week as well. And then that's about it. Unless, say, something drastically changes. Allegedly, car boots are back on now. I know a few of the ones local to me were sort of up in arms, you know, yay! Boris has done it because he's talking about open markets. I don't think that's quite the case. I think there's some stipulations around the car boots. How it transpires and how it works, fuck me, I don't. How are you going to be able to control people? You know, even if you have a one-way system, how are you going to stop multiple people crowding around a table or a car when there's good shit on there? I don't know. The logistics of it just doesn't make any sense to me. Who knows? But then again, let's be honest, having X thousand of people all congregate en masse at any given point in the UK or whatever doesn't seem to fucking matter now anyway. So, like I said on Facebook, why the fuck am I stood outside Tesco's when they're only allowing 8 people in, when there's all these people throwing fucking bikes and bricks at poor fucking horses in London? Don't make any sense, does it? It's either we're either in lockdown and there's a pandemic, or we're not. So you can't pick and choose when you fucking apply the law, and that's, yeah, that is what it is. But anyway, guys, take it easy. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.